Point. All right, MSNBC's getting a lot of stuff from us today, so I have a news clip. I sent this one to you yesterday, Mike, but this is awesome. This is probably my favorite. Okay, first off, I want to thank Tom Steyer for breaking MSNBC because you did this, Tom. You did this.
Congratulations, Tom.
Here we go.
You know, when you're looking at ISIS or you're looking at radical Islamic terrorism, I covered a number of stories where the FBI would track young kids or young men, and they would talk to them online and say, you know, here's how you build a bomb, or here's where you get your bomb making materials, and they track that person as that person radicalized. And
now, before we even get on to the Shyamalan twist of this news story, because I don't want people to fucking get me wrong. This is them doing it to Muslims. I think this is still wrong. Before we get to the other part of this is still wrong. The FBI essentially is not track them. Yeah. They're helping to radicalize them.
Well, they've been doing this a long time.
I know.
And the way what I love about this too is they're acting like, what if we were to do this to far right people? But but you do, and you have. Like there's already evidence that they did this with McVeigh, that Timothy McVeigh was supposedly in touch with some people that worked for the FBI. They weren't necessarily the FBI, but they were like snitches, and they helped get people linked. And there's a whole history of them being like, that's why that meme exists of like the, hey kid, you want to blow up a federal building? Because it's like, and it's just a dude that looks like Stan Smith from American Dad. Hey kid, you want to buy a truck and blow up a federal building? And it's like, I just wanted to smoke some pot with my friends. Nah, man, I'm telling you, dude, you got to make a difference. Let's blow up a subway station. And it's like there is stories of these kids that are a little fucked up, but they're like autistic or whatever. And then they're like, shut up. I'll kill some federal agents.
Talk about another time starting a fire and then putting it out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They all do that shit. It's fucking creepy. And yeah.
Young kids or young men, and they would talk to them online and say, you know, here's how you build a bomb, or here's where you get your bomb making materials, and they tracked that person as that person radicalized and then arrested them before they could do anything bad. Why is the same not being done for white extremists, or is the same being done and we just don't know about?
Tom, I have a question. Why aren't we using methods of, why isn't our federal government using our citizens' tax dollars to engage in illegal entrapment against its own citizens, Tom? Why aren't we doing that more? I could talk to you off the air.
No, Mike, I wish that's what this guy did. But that's not what he did.
It's like but I know, because I know he's about to explain how cool it is, but like, imagine the setup alone is hysterical. Like, just when you think about it, this is insane. Like, they're throwing you a question that's like the biggest softball ever, not like, why are you doing this? Is this madness?
Right.
We just don't know about it.
No, it's time to seriously ask that question and to wrestle with it, because politics does enter in. And as you said, as soon as you mention even the need for a domestic terrorism statute, right, that addresses this, you'll hear people start screaming, this is the thought police. You're trying to suppress thought.
You are! That's what you're doing, because like Mike said, you might get a kid who might be a little bit too deep down a rabbit hole that would normally have left alone, not really do anything, and then you're enabling him to do something, and then you're going to stick him. Why don't we just stick American citizens in Gitmo while we're at it? Let's fucking put bags over their heads.
We are not trying to police your thoughts or your lives, okay? I just need a list of all the guns you keep in your home and everything you're reading online, please. Thank you.
10 copies of Siege.
We're not policing it. We're just cataloging it all.
For later use.
But also, we're going to pass red flag laws.
My answer to that is this is not about thought. This is about verbalizing an intention to commit violence.
Verbalizing.
Here's the thing, bud.
Intention to commit violence.
Here's the thing, bud. There's already laws against that, right? Like,
yes.
Like if I get thrown out of a
Terroristic threats.
Yeah, if I get a little wild at the Applebee's tonight and I get thrown out, I can't go. I'm gonna fucking come back here and kill all of you. I'm gonna shoot you, you son of a bitch. Like that right away. They can go. Oh, hi 911. Yeah, there's a guy right now in a white T-shirt. Yeah, he just said he was gonna kill me, and you go to jail. Boom, done. Isn't that amazing?
And it's
That was
Applebee's. They'll
easy.
be like, it's the third time this week.
Yeah, seriously, third time tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
Fucking Dollarita days.
Fucking wild.
Dollarita Thursdays are wild.
Oh my God, is Applebee's just run by the FBI? Is it a honeypot?
That's what
It's just a fucking honeypot.
I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna go blow up an IRS building. And like, you got that on tape? All right, go out and get him.
This is not about thought. This is about verbalizing and
You have the little Zios things at your thing, your little screens, and when you try to order your little riblets at the beginning, it goes, "Hey, would you like to blow up a federal building?"
Yes.
No.
And
You
then-
sure?
No, but they switch no and yes too. It's one of those, like
damn
an
it.
online ad. You're like, you fuck.
intention to commit violence. That's what we're talking about. And when you have that going on in droves online, it's time to hit it head on and do it in partnership between law enforcement and providers. And if we don't get out in front of it, it'll just keep happening because the president...
Get out in front of it. Get out in front of it. That should scare anybody listening to this. Getting out in front of it is minority reporting. That's what that is. Minority report policing.
Stop crime before it happens.
Yeah.
Now let me have access to your messages, please.
Enforcement and providers. And if we don't get out in front of it, it'll just keep happening because the president represents a bully pulpit where there's fresh daily...
Of course it's Trump. Or Tom Steyer. We're figuring it out.
Just keep happening because the president represents a bully pulpit where there's fresh daily content of radicalization.
He represents
The
a
same
bully
goes for-
pulpit. Yes, the president does represent the United States of America. What's your point?
Yeah, what do you want?
Nerd.
It'll just keep happening because the president represents a bully pulpit where there's fresh daily content of radicalization. The same goes for a state-subsidized news network that refuses to denounce this kind of thing.
CNN? Like, oh, Fox News? Let me tell you something. This guy's a former assistant director, FBI assistant director for counterintelligence. Let me tell you something, Frank Fulgluzzi. These people, when they become like, when they go on these news networks or whatever, you don't have in any way any current intelligence. Once you leave, you don't keep getting intelligence.
Yeah.
He's acting like he does.
Radical
Like our boy Agent
Islamists
Poso.
would give their right arm to have that kind of fresh daily content go.
Well, that's pretty much
that
it.
was
That was the video.
Yeah, I mean, this is red flag laws and this and that, and they chip away. I'm telling you, man, it's getting. There should be no. We should be stripping back all these limits, not adding to them. And I just feel like more and more each day, dude, we're just losing. You sent this to me last night, and that's just what I sent back to Royce immediately. That's like always on my fucking. That's always loaded up in the chamber of my memes, ready to go.
This one is exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.